I think that architecture has a much more organic structure than an inorganic structure. So, have you ever seen a roadmap from product management or product marketing that kind of looks like this? It's in a PowerPoint slide, and here's time, and it says something like, we're going to do release 2.2, and it's going to have these things, and then maybe these are quarters, and then we're going to do release 3.0, and there's like a star or an arrow. Yeah, right, this one. And it's got these things. Has anyone seen this? Yeah. You created them.
That's right.
You heckled them. So what is one of the virtues of this structure? Well, give me a virtue of this structure before we throw it under the bus.
It allows purchasing to know when to schedule.
Yeah, it's got time, right? And we need time, right? We need to know when something's coming. But what it's not so good at is helping organizations and customers understand the balance of growth of a complex product or offering. He's good. He's going, what does this crazy man mean? What I mean is that complex products and software solutions are more than just one feature, minus set and grep, right? Most complex software is a collection of things that kind of have to stay in a reasonable set of balance to enable customers to solve a problem. You with me? Are you a witness? Right? So what we do is we draw them as trees or gardens or other organic metaphors. And you can tell I'm a really great artist. And we'll say things like, here's my tree. This is my current release. This is my 2010 release, and this is my 2011 release. And maybe I have this product area, and this product area, and this product area. And what we do is we let customers shape the growth of the product by adding apples and leaves and shaping how this thing is going to change over time. You with me? And what we get is, rather than going, oh, this bullet, I don't know how it relates to this bullet, and how's my overall product, we get people talking about the balance of a complex software system and talking about how the structure of that software system will grow and change over time. And we call that game Prune the Product Tree because most of the time software people want to add stuff to their product. And yet, if you buy into organic metaphors of growth, how do you get good fruit from a fruit tree?
Trim.
You trim. You have to prune it. So the discipline is, and this is really fun, right? When we normally play the game with customers, we'll put their existing roadmap on the tree, and then we let customers take away what they don't want. And it's really funny to see the product manager squirm. Oh, they're taking my favorite apple. Well, they didn't want your favorite apple. Maybe they want their apple. Go figure. So this is how it works. It's this simple. We draw a graphic image of a tree. Has anyone been to Gilroy Gardens? Right? Have you seen the trees that they create? That's so cool. You got to go there if you've never been there. They have trees like anything. Apple, animals, whatever. So what we do is we get 5 to 8 customers standing around a tree shaping its growth. And then when they're done, we get to ask them, why did your tree grow this way? Why did you put this here, over here? What are the relationships among these items? How does it change? Now, in person, it gets you this really great opportunity for new stuff. And online, it gets you this great opportunity to look at the elaborations and explanations that people use to justify their movements. So I'll give you some photos. This is, look at a nice happy guy. We love that you're happy customers. This is a tree where these little dots right here represent the existing features, and these represent the new ones. And one of the things that this team did is they drew a heart around this and said, don't take this away. We really love it. Really love that. Pretty interesting, right? Now this one, you can kind of see there's growth rings here. There's product areas. There's a root system. How many times do you feel shortchanged as an engineering leader that you can't put in the infrastructure that you need into your architecture, there's that word, to make it successful? Only once though, right, Mark?
All the time.
All the time, right? So what's good about the organic metaphor is we know, generally, not completely true for every tree, but generally, the root system of a tree extends as far as its canopy. So as you're building all these great features, you can start to talk about your customers. Well, how would we support you in doing these features? How would this system change and grow over time? What should be down here? What is the nourishment of this tree and this infrastructure to make it successful? So, dude.
So it's a visual aid, but doesn't necessarily have the notion of time associated with it?
That's your call. I have time here in the growth rings.
Oh, I
so
see.
You can represent time as the growth of the tree. You could do releases, like if you had release 1, release 2, or some people don't like to, I like to late bind my release numbers. So I've done inert gases like helium, argon, neon release, right? Or some people like to go to islands. Let's go to Maui. Let's go to Maui release. So, but you can have time, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
And you want to have time because humans are time-centric creatures. We need time to make sense of the world. I have a whole talk on that we could go into. But does that help everyone? Yes. Okay, now here's this interesting thing. Some of our customers, notably SAP, we're standing right here, said, we love this stuff in person and the results are so incredible. Would you put it online for us? And I said, well, that's interesting. I never really intended this stuff to go online because I'm an agilist, right? I like to work with people. But I thought, well, what would happen if we put this online? How might it look? Well, you might say that there's a tree, an image, a graphic image, and items that people put on the tree. And what we do is we define a concept of a layer and a region. Now, the concept of the layer and the region is here's the background image. You ever see the clear transparencies that we used to use in the old projectors before we had all this great stuff? Right? And you used to write on it? Well, imagine you could write on the clear transparency, and then when the players were moving these apples and items around, you knew where they were putting it. You with me? So I know, based on the hit detection algorithm, even if I don't see this region, I know where it is. And then I can create the structure that I'm looking for. So here's an early prototype. We've changed it since then. But here's the palette of items. I can drag it over, drop it. It pops up and it says, what's your feature? And I know where it is because of where they put it on the tree, even if those layers and regions aren't shown. The players can optionally choose to show them or not. Now, the power of this technique is that, in effect, this becomes a simple visual wiki. Lisa doesn't like my apple, she can move it. She really doesn't like it, she can delete it. Because the rule of the game, and I am the most understructured guy you're going to meet. People will say, well, what are the rules? Can I touch the red apples? I'm like, yeah, I do want. Can I delete Linda's apple? Sure. The only rule is, you all have to agree before you're done. That's it. I mean, you could add more, but that's all you need.
So it's possible to get into a deadly break. I'm always reading Lisa's apple and she's always reading mine.
And isn't that interesting? If you're a product person and you've got 2 customers adding, deleting, that is pretty valuable information. What is the information likely to tell you if you've got one person adding and one person deleting all the time? What signal might that be to you?
We're different market segments.
You're different market segments. This is interesting. Go ahead. What you were going to say?
No, so we probably need different products.
Or you need different products to serve the different market segments. So the game isn't design your product and I'll do whatever you tell me. The game is tell me what you want so I can use it and factor it into my product strategy and creation efforts. And from there, we can build a better product. Because you're not going to play just one game with one group of customers, you're going to play several. And you will look at how things evolve and change and merge and move. So far, so good.